And that's very clear that you are coming from that position.
Thank you. Christian.
First of all, I want to thank you for coming down. I really enjoyed your speaking, and I found it very powerful in a lot of ways. But I was going to ask you, like, I'm an entrepreneur too, and I have my own business, and I've achieved a lot of the goals I have set out. And over the last month or so, I've almost hit a lull. And it's not that complacent, but I think I need to reassess my goals. And I want to ask you, as an entrepreneur and someone that's kind of lived their own life their entire life, how do you push yourself to be motivated to achieve things further than you seem realistic? Or does that make sense? Like, because I've gone to a place where I've done things where I didn't think I could do already, and it's like, okay, I have to go from there because I'm not going to stay on the step. Because that's just not who I am. I want to go up and continue to grow. So, what are some of the ways you continue to motivate yourself and achieve amazing goals, or you reassess your goals, I guess, or reevaluate what you're trying to look for?
Great question, and the answer could have several parts. And what I'm going to try and do here, guys, is not just talk it from a business perspective, but please invite you to take out of this conceptual stuff that you can apply in your life, regardless of whether you run a business or not. The point on how do I keep motivating myself, I got to a point where setting goals and achieving goals was easy. Right? And it was frustrating because while I was achieving goals, I wasn't being fulfilled. So I got to a point, you show me a problem, I'll freaking destroy it. Setting goals is fine. I've got this overachiever gene that went through, but I'd always be unfulfilled at the end of it because I won't know why I'm achieving it. What's my sense of purpose here? And so I came to a distinction that was very powerful for me, and that is, I believe that the two biggest needs that drive us to a level of fulfillment are the need for growth and the need to contribute. So if you have a goal that is unconsciously, and you may not even look at this unless you're aware of it, if you have a goal that the subliminal driver is how can you prove yourself to be good enough, i.e. how am I avoiding this primary fear of not being good enough, then you will always be on a hamster wheel to nowhere. Because you'll always be coming from how can I achieve more. There's no finish line with that game. So you'll achieve a goal, and it's like the first thing the brain says is, how can I achieve more? Yeah. Because the real reason wasn't to achieve the goal, it was to try and make you feel good enough, and you use that as a qualifier. And that'll never work. So you get here, and you're still the same person that's not good enough, you just achieve a goal though.
Yeah.
Can you see that,
no,
that pattern?
Yeah.
So if you can tie that in, I was talking about growth and contribution. If you can tie in the reason why you want to achieve what it is you want to achieve is because it supports your natural level of growth, not to avoid this primary fear of not being good enough, and ultimately that you won't be loved, depending on how deep you want to take it. But if you can get something that is allows you to grow, but contributes to more than who you are, you'll have far more reasons for being fulfilled to be able to follow that path. And it's a lot easier to get up in the morning when you're doing it to add value to others than it is just to try and support yourself. Especially if you feel that the Wizard of Oz curtain's back, and what's really going on is you're just trying to validate yourself in the eyes of others. So, to try and bring it as succinctly full circle as I can, how do I motivate myself and make sure the goals I set aren't about me? Now, in terms of growth, how do I handle growth? I've got a very simple philosophy when it comes down to growth and goal setting. It's this. If I have any idea how I can achieve the goals I set, when I set them, they're too small. If I have any idea how I can achieve the goals I set at the time that I set them, they're too small. Now, for some people, it's scary. Why? Because it brings in the antithesis of what you said earlier, Scott, about certainty. Massive uncertainty. And most people will run from uncertainty because they're too busy seducing themselves into a way of living that certainty doesn't exist in. The reality of which is that there's no such thing as fucking certainty when you look at nature. But we don't like to believe that, we just stick the TV on when we're going. So if you can have a level of setting your goals and ambitions that forces you to grow, and here's another very key distinction I want to share with you guys. For me, setting a goal or going after a goal, no matter what it is, it's not about achieving a goal. I'll say this very, very clearly. The purpose of having a goal, for me, is not to get the goal. The purpose of having a goal is to see who I need to become in the process of achieving that goal. So if I set something, a goal that I know I can achieve, I may have to stretch a little, but it's within my comfort zone. What room for growth is there? What room for life is to be able to deliver through some inspirational, divine situation, whatever you want to call it, a way for me to be able to become more of who I need to be. So I set a goal where I look and think, who I am right now will not be able to achieve that goal. And I have no freaking clue how to get there. Wow, what a ride. But I know by going after this goal, I have to become more.
Thank you.
And that's a great way of being able to get out of your own ego and not only add value on a global level or a non-local level, but be able to keep yourself motivated because it's coming from a high place, yeah, not an insecurity. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, good.
Just to repeat something, just to make sure, Bruce, when you set a goal that's so big that you have no clue how to achieve it, what you're basically doing is saying, okay, I personally can't achieve it in my state right now, so there's personal growth that's happening. And so basically when you achieve or something similar to that goal originally set, you just expanded it as a person.
Yeah, definitely. And it's both state and resources. I'll sign up a deal in business that I have no freaking way financially to be able to achieve, no way of anything. I have to be able to make something happen more than where I'm at right now. And if my conviction's there, which it has to be to start with, otherwise I wouldn't take it on, then I'm all in. And I wait to see what magic shows up. We've all had this experience, yes or no? The phone calls that come in, the people you happen to meet or bump into in Starbucks, or a friend of a friend. You set that intention with that level of conviction. It's the secret. Everything comes in.